Welcome to AANEM's MACRA Overview webinar series. This is the first webinar in the series, and it is meant to give a general overview of the new payment system called the Quality Payment Program, which was created by the MACRA legislation. My name is Millie Sook, and I'm the Health Policy Director at AANEM. The Medicare Access and CHIP Reauthorization Act, also known as MACRA, is a bipartisan legislation that was passed into law in April of 2015. This legislation repealed the flawed sustainable growth rate formula, but also changed the way that Medicare rewards clinicians for value over volume. MACRA represents a complete overhaul of the structure of physician payments by Medicare. Under MACRA, a new framework of payment called the Quality Payment Program, or the QPP, will require physicians to utilize one of two paths for reimbursement. The first, the Merit-Based Incentive Payment System, also known as MIPS, or Advanced Alternative Payment Models, also known as APMs. Beginning this year, physician payments will be based on performance within the path chosen. Similar to prior Medicare value-based programs, there will be a 2-year lag on performance and payment adjustments. In other words, performance in the QPP in 2017 will result in payment adjustments in 2019. As I said before, there are two paths that physicians can choose from to participate in the QPP. However, because very few alternative payment models have been approved as advanced APMs at this point, the majority of clinicians will participate in MIPS, at least for the first few years, until more advanced APMs are approved. The MIPS pathway is similar to prior Medicare quality programs, such as meaningful use and the value-based modifier. In fact, it largely combines and streamlines the previous programs into a single system. A percentage of clinicians' payments will be based on the relative performance in the MIPS program. Clinicians who receive a sufficient amount of their payments through one of the approved advanced APMs will be exempt from MIPS. This slide gives a side-by-side comparison of the potential effects of the QPP depending on which path you choose. Under MIPS, in the first year, your payments may be increased or decreased by up to 4%, depending on your performance. This number will gradually increase with each year until 2022, at which point the payment adjustment maxes out at 9%. Participants in the advanced APMs, on the other hand, will see no such automatic payment adjustment. However, they will receive an automatic 5% payment adjustment from 2019 to 2024. MIPS participants will have the potential to obtain a bonus of up to 10% from 2019 to 2024 if their performance ranks in the top 25%. Beginning in 2026, after the bonus programs are phased out, MIPS participants will receive an automatic 0.25% increase in Medicare Part B payments. Advanced APM participants will receive an automatic 0.75% increase. Switching our focus to the MIPS program, it should be noted that, unlike many of the prior Medicare value-based programs, it is not just physicians who will be subject to the QPP. Beginning this year, physicians, physician assistants, nurse practitioners, clinical nurse specialists, and certified registered nurse anesthetists will all be subject to the QPP. Additional medical professionals, such as physical therapists, are expected to be added to the program within the next few years. While all of the medical professionals listed on the previous slide are technically subject to MIPS, there are 3 situations in which these professionals will be exempt. The first, clinicians who fall below the low volume threshold, which is defined as clinicians whose Medicare Part B allowed charges are less than or equal to $30,000 or who see 100 or fewer Medicare Part B patients. This threshold will be calculated based on the clinician's billing in the year prior to the performance year. Clinicians who meet this threshold should receive a notification from CMS in early 2017. The second exemption is for clinicians who enroll in Medicare for the first time during a performance year. Finally, clinicians who significantly participate in an advanced APM, which we'll discuss in greater detail later in this presentation, are also exempt. It should be noted that if you qualify for an exemption, you will not be allowed to participate in MIPS even if you want to. As I mentioned earlier in this presentation, MIPS combines pre-existing Medicare value-based payment programs. It also adds a new category. The 4 categories in MIPS are quality, advancing care information, improvement activities, and costs. We will be releasing additional mini webinars that go into the specific details of each category in the coming weeks, so keep an eye out for those. For 2017, quality will count for the largest portion of your MIPS score, making up 60%. This is followed by advancing care information at 25% and improvement activities at 15%. The cost category will not be used to calculate the MIPS final composite score for the 2017 performance period. However, physicians will still be provided with performance feedback in this category. The cost category will count for 10% of the composite score in performance year 2018, increasing to 30% of the score in performance year 2019. The percentage of the quality category in the MIPS score will reduce by those same amounts in those years. In an effort to ease the transition and encourage participation, CMS has instituted a transition year for 2017 that allows clinicians to choose their level of participation. In order to avoid a penalty, you need only participate in the MIPS testing, meaning you need to choose only one quality measure or one improvement activity or 4 or 5 advancing care information measures, depending on which version of EHR you have. If you choose to fully or even partially participate in 2017, you will be eligible for positive payment adjustments of up to 4%, and you will not be subject to any negative payment adjustments in 2017. Positive adjustments will be based on the performance data submitted, not the amount of information or the length of time submitted. In other words, a full year of reporting gives you the most measures to pick from, but if you report for only 90 days, you could still earn the maximum adjustment, depending on your performance on the selected measures. If you opt to report for 90 days, you can start at any time between January 1st and October 2nd. The only physicians who will see a negative payment adjustment in 2017 are those who do nothing. They will see a 4% payment cut in 2019. You do not need to inform CMS or anyone as to which MIPS reporting option you select. You only need to submit the data. Clinicians who have assigned their billing rights to a single TIN have the option to report as a group or as an individual. If the group option is selected, all MIPS-eligible clinicians in the group must report as a group, and they will be assessed as a group across all 4 of the MIPS performance categories. As you can see from this slide, there are several options for reporting your data, depending on whether you report as an individual or a group, and depending on which category you are reporting for. Many of the options are the same across the group and individual options, as well as across the categories. The first thing you need to do is determine whether or not you are eligible to participate in MIPS. If you are eligible, then you need to gauge your readiness. Do you have a certified EHR system? Do you have other mechanisms in place through which to measure and report data? This should guide what level of participation you opt for in the 2017 transition year. The QRUR released in September 26 of 2016, referred to as the 2015 annual QRUR, is being utilized for the first MIPS performance feedback. You can review your quality and cost information in your QRUR, which can be accessed via the website listed at the bottom of this slide, to get an idea as to where your performance is at. You will also need to decide if you are reporting as a group or an individual and what mechanism you will use to report data. This slide shows how a MIPS score is calculated. Your performance score in each category is multiplied by the performance category's weight. So, for example, your quality score would be multiplied by 0.6 since quality counts for 60% of your score, and then added up and multiplied by 100. This slide provides a graphic overview of the timeline for payment adjustments, which we discussed earlier. I should also note at this point that we will make available all of the PowerPoint slides if you choose to go back and look at them individually. The second way in which eligible clinicians can participate in the quality payment program is through an advanced alternative payment model, also referred to as an advanced APM. In order for an APM to qualify as an advanced APM, the payment model must meet several criteria established by CMS. 50% of the participants in the practice must use certified EHR technology. You must report and at least partially base clinician payments on quality measures comparable to those measures in MIPS. And the participants must also bear more than nominal risk for monetary losses, which is defined by CMS as less than 8% of total Medicare revenues or 3% of total Medicare expenditures. Primary care medical homes have a different standard. In order for a clinician to be considered a qualified participant, thus exempting them from MIPS, they must meet certain thresholds for the percentage of Medicare payments or percentage of Medicare patients they see or receive. As you can see, for 2017, clinicians must receive 25% of their Medicare payments through the advanced APM or see 20% of their Medicare patients through the advanced APM. These thresholds gradually increase through 2021. This slide contains a list of the only APMs that have been certified by CMS as advanced APMs for the 2017 performance year. As you can see, very few models have been approved, leaving the vast majority of clinicians having to participate in the QPP via MIPS. CMS has said that it will continue to review and approve models and will announce approval on their website as the models are reviewed. For those APMs that do not meet CMS's criteria for an advanced APM, they can still be qualified as a MIPS APM. Participants' payments through these APMs must be based on performance on cost and quality. While participants in MIPS APMs are not eligible for the bonuses and other rewards advanced APM participants receive, they will automatically receive full improvement activities credit under MIPS and will have simplified MIPS reporting. For more information about the Quality Payment Program, including information specific to neuromuscular and electrodiagnostic physicians, please visit our website listed on this slide. If you have any questions or would like additional information, please call or email the AANEM Policy Department. Finally, keep an eye out for additional mini-webinars on the various aspects of the QPP.
Left.